Hi, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Finding Data Friends. We are lucky enough to have been joined by a new friend. Deepthi, welcome to the podcast. Do you want to tell us a bit about yourself and how you're doing today?
So many questions. Hello, Jason. Hello, Ben. Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm so excited and nervous at the same time. But yeah, my name is Deepthi Goguri and I'm a database administrator. I'm from Kentucky, United States. Um, so to say like where I started, I came to United States in 2010 to do my masters in computer technology. I did it. I did it in Chicago, Eastern Illinois University, and since then I learned about SQL. I fell in love with SQL Server, and I thought like rest of my life I will be a database administrator. And so here I am. It's been like more than 8+ years as a DBA, and I'm so honored to receive Data Platform MVP last year. So I'll try to keep it up. And before even beginning our podcast, I would like to say thank you to Ben Wiesman because without his support and the support from New Stars of Data, I would not be in here at all. Like I don't know where I would end up. I would have been like regular DBA. So yeah, it's an honor to be able to give me and many others a platform to be able to speak for the first time. So thank you so much, Ben, from bottom of my heart, and thank you, Jess. I had an honor to work with you on diversity, equity, and inclusion user group, and it was very nice working with you. So I'm also an organizer, co-organizer for a couple of user groups. I'm a co-organizer for diversity, equity, and inclusion user group, and Microsoft Data and AI South Florida user group. And I recently signed up for the Data TGIF with Kai Sauter recently, and I also do support Women in Technology user group as well. So that's a
Whew.
long background.
I'm tired with just all the things that you're involved in.
I'm so
What
sorry.
is happening? Let me respond in a couple of ways. First of all, there is no such thing as a regular DBA. That just doesn't exist. Uh, Also, I always want to remind each and everyone that while William and I may have set a little stage, basically what we did is we sent out a sessionized link, but all the rest is on these new stars. And since the past summit is coming up, and you've probably seen all the nice announcements on all the other new speakers that we're going to have this year, seeing all this is so great. We have 12 or 13. See, this is why I come unprepared to these shows. Speakers alone that spoke at New Stars or the Data Guru newcomer track before. There's a bunch of other new speakers of first-time past speakers that I know of, and I'm pretty sure, since that was not a question that has been asked publicly, there's more that I just don't know of. Sorry. Please feel free to reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to meet you, and I'm more than happy to see what we can collaborate on, etc. But those are the speakers alone that I know of, and it makes me so happy to see that, especially at an event like past that always had that saying like, oh well, if you haven't been in data for like the past 750 years and don't know everybody there and the secret handshake, you're never going to get a session there. If those numbers don't prove these people wrong, then I don't know what will. So it has been a great pleasure looking and watching your journey so far from your first presentation back in 2020 up to now, and I'm very much looking forward to what's more to come.
Thank you so
I was
much,
just going to
Ben.
ask when your first session was. 2020.
2020.
Whew.
Yes. Grand
Nice.
opening with New Stars of Data.
That's awesome. Cool. Okay, so obviously you've got a lot of user groups and speaking going on, but one of the questions we like to ask on the pod is what your favorite data thing is. So do you want to share that with us?
Yes, there are a lot of stuff that I am like exploring recently, along with Azure SQL, like Azure Arc as well. But the most favorite, I can say that I explored more onto Query Store. I learned I learned a lot from many experts, and like Microsoft Docs is one of the wonderful things where I can go ahead and learn. I really like the feature. We started implementing in our company as well. Um, so the new 2022 additional features for Query Store, like for example, supporting for the secondary replicas as well. So when you can also enable query store on your secondary replicas, the read-only replicas. It will collect the data onto the primary replicas. It will collect and it will store in one location. So basically, the query store is all about collecting your performance data along with your execution plan as well. It have this wonderful graphical user interface where you can go ahead and see like what are my queries, what are the execution plans, and you have the capability of like forcing the plans. If you like a plan that is working really well, you can just go ahead and force it. And if you are in the enterprise edition of SQL Server, then you have the ability to enable like automatic plan correction, meaning like you don't have to do anything. You can just relax enabling the query store and it will take care of it for you.
Yeah, that's a great feature. We use that a ton for tracking queries and performance tuning and stuff. And you're right, there's so much information in there. It's,
Yeah,
to be honest, there's always more information too. Like you find a little extra button or change one of the radio buttons, and you've got a whole new wealth of information about your queries. That's super cool.
right. And if you
My
are in
takeaway
like,
from what Deepthi just told us is that buy Enterprise Edition so your DBAs can go relax. I
Smart.
mean, that's
yes,
basically what you said, right?
hmm
I hear.
yes,
I mean, what was a bit mean is how you started with how like SQL Server and Azure Arc, and it was like, oh, she's gonna say Azure Arc enabled SQL is like her favorite, and
And then,
because Deepthi
whoop,
just recently
then you
published a
need to
lot of great
understand why
content on
I'm
Azure
not
Arc
talking.
SQL, and then she's like, and here I come with queries. I was like,
When you need to understand why I'm not talking about Azure Arc here, because I just started into it and you are an expert. I'm a junior here, so if I speak something which I shouldn't, you might be pointing out in the podcast itself.
I've seen your recent content, and it was great. It was easy to follow. I mean, you pointed out the docs, and let's face it, the docs, especially for newer product like Azure Arc, they have a thing or two left to desire. And that's by far the most friendly way I can say that. So no, that was super helpful, especially obviously for people just getting started with that. So
Exactly. I'm getting
yeah, I was
started
hoping
too.
you would pick that.
So I thought like,
And
yeah,
that's what it's all about. You start learning something new, and then you share it with others, so they don't
hmm
have to go through the same pain as some of us trying to get things to work.
I always
I
right.
find
guess.
that solidifies it for me too. Like having to go to the point where you can write about it and explain it to others, like fills in all the gaps for yourself, right? So
Right. And
it's
later
I
you
always
can
Plus,
make
say
a
like
that
6 months
my
later,
presentation
you
out of
find
it.
your own blog post.
yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I always say that my blog is mainly for me because it's for like future Jess when she's forgotten what I wanted to use, and I just look it up and I'm like, oh, good work, past Jess.
I can relate that to you just because whenever I have to give a presentation, I will go ahead and look into the YouTube videos of my own video just to refresh what I spoke last time. I have no idea what I spoke, so I
Yep.
had to refresh. The same goes with
Yep.
blog posts
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, there are a couple that I know there's a good bit of code on that blog post. So instead of trying to find it in a scripts folder, I just go there and I just grab it. It's handy.
Right. Hmm.
And hopefully a couple of other people found it useful along the way, right? But mainly it's for me.
Yeah, who
I
cares
can
about
relate
other
that.
people? I mean,
Yeah,
people are the worst anyway, so what
exactly.
gives? There's that. There is that. So, Deepthi, when you're not relaxing in front of that super expensive enterprise edition, having query store auto tuning all your indexes and queries and stuff, and I mean, given that you have all that relaxation time, I assume there must be something you do in the time where you don't worry about data because you don't have to, because that's all automatically happening. So, do you have a favorite non-data thing to do?
Yes, yes. So I like reading books. I used to not like reading books. I'm not a book person. I'm like a visualized person. But like a year or 2 years ago, can I show that what I'm like trying to read? If it is okay here, can I
Sure.
show the
Yeah,
book?
I
yeah.
mean, I'm going to say it depends on what kind of book it is, but I'm leaning with yes.
This is my
Oh,
this is
David
my
Goggins.
yes. This is a book that has actually changed my life. I mean, I don't even have any confidence before, but after reading this book, it gave me enough confidence to go ahead and submit my session to New Stars of Data. It's all about like reading this book. David Goggins, I can say that he has actually changed my life for good. And whenever I feel down, I'll go ahead and read the book again. He just released one more new book. It's called Never Finished. I did not finish that book yet, so I just started reading it, and that's a wonderful read, I can say. So I never read any other books apart from the academic books before. This was my first book, and I am I'm so honored to say that David Goggins changed my life.
That's awesome.
And also, I like doing arts and crafts, the ones that you are seeing behind the scene, like these flowers and stuff.
Okay.
And you see the square over there. That's a 3D garden that I created with artificial succulents. I like doing arts and crafts with my from the scratch with my own hands, decorative stuff. I really like
Amazing.
doing. Though
I
nobody
have
like in my
zero
home,
crafting skills.
I love
So,
crafts since my childhood.
I feel like we also need to kind of embrace that, at least in the reunion episode, because we've had lots of creative people on the previous episodes as well. We're
Hmm.
going to have the band playing, but we might also have just like a workshop or anything where people can be creative and stuff. I mean, we're going to make this a happening. It's going to be an event. I mean, there's going to be like all the 15,000 people that have been on the podcast by then ish.
this feels like a Data Friends festival. Like we need a field and some stages and
Wow.
And
a
we're going to need
hotel.
someone to make sure that ticket sales go through. I mean, this is
Mm,
going to be bigger than the Taylor Swift show, right? Right?
very true. Very
There's,
true.
I mean, there's like, I'm going to say 50 million database or data passionists out there. All of them want to be at that show.
Wow.
Passionists? Is that what you just went
Yeah,
with? Okay.
Yeah. Passionist.
that's my official title on conference slide. So I figured I will just
I like it.
extend the invite
Very cool. It's kind of you.
because it means everything and nothing. So I guess that's perfect. Or not.
Awesome.
Anyways. No, but yeah, I'm gonna talk to the Ticketmaster folks on what they're gonna need from us
Smart.
because I guess they're gonna
Perfect.
need like a lead time of a couple of years for an event this size.
Well, that gives us time to get more people through, so it will be even bigger.
Yeah, and this is where the problem begins, Jazz, because we're now telling them, okay, we're gonna have 15,000 people on stage, and we expect like 50 million people on the seats, and then they're gonna, okay, yeah, we're gonna find a venue. By then, size will have quadrupled. They're gonna be like, yeah, we're ready. And we're gonna, yeah, but now we have 60,000 people are gonna be on stage, and 200 million people that want. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Logistically,
Difficult times.
you can be so happy that I'm taking care of the reunion episode, Jess. I'm taking all that workload
You're
away
so
from you.
kind.
The only
I'm just
thing
going
that
to
you have to
show
take
up
care of.
5 minutes late.
No, I was going to say the only thing that you're in charge of is food. So you're going to please
Oh,
make sure you cook for all our 200 million
yeah.
friends plus 60,000 speakers.
Amazing. I'll work on that. Which is
Perfect.
a great point. I'm already hungry.
Aha!
So it will lead us into our final question of Deepthi, what do you like to eat? What's your favorite food? Or what do you like to make? And would you like to make it for us? Those kinds of questions.
Yeah, as you know, I'm from India and I'm from the south part of India. I'm from Hyderabad. So, when anybody comes to Hyderabad, the first number one foodie that they talk about is Hyderabadi biryani. It's a recipe with rice and mixed with all the spices, Indian spices with chicken. So they mix up the chicken with all the spices before they marinate it for 1 hour, and then they add rice, and then I can smell it because my husband is cooking it right now. I can smell it.
Oh,
So yeah,
amazing.
if I have to cook something, and then if I have to offer it to my data friends or any other friends coming from any part of India or like outside of India, I just offer biryani. They all love it. They all love it.
Sounds good. How
Nice.
spicy are we talking?
It can go to any level. It can go from one level all the way to 10 level. So
I'm going to
when
need a
I'm
one
cooking,
level,
yeah, when I cook,
maybe a
when we cook
4.5.
when we cook the biryani for the other outside country people, friends, I go with number two or one level. But with Indian friends, I can go up till like 7, 8, 10
Yeah.
is too much, even for us. So
Okay. Amazing.
So I would like to go with a 4.5. I'm feeling particularly brave today. But
Good
that
stuff.
is fine because I would need a vegetarian version anyway. So with that, we can also do different spice levels without being overly complicated, I guess.
Always
If you
thinking
remove the
ahead.
if you remove the chicken and put the vegetables in it, that will become a vegetable biryani. So
Okay. I like a good biryani, so I'm looking forward to that. So that will be fine.
we need to celebrate biryani as well.
Nice. But come on, Jess. I mean, a little more than a 0.5 in spiciness. Yeah.
We'll try a 1. But, you know.
There we go.
One is
That's the
very low.
spirit.
Okay. I'll do my best.
I mean, that's all we're asking. That is
Great.
all we're asking.
Perfect.
Now I'm hungry.
Me too, Ben.
Yeah, but you can smell it. I
was going to say,
I
the
even have to
food is
imagine the
close to
smell.
you.
Yeah.
That's where I
Perfect.
see the big difference between where we are in our lives at this point. One getting cooked for, one getting stories told about them getting food cooked for, I guess. There's that.
It's okay, Ben.
Thank you. Thank you. I guess that takes us towards the end of this episode. Deepthi, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for making us hungry for that rice biryani. And we're very much looking forward to taste that at the big reunion party buffet. I mean, we're going to sample it, of course, in the kidnapping RV.
Kidnapping
as things
RV?
are. And with that,
Kidnapping RV?
Don't ask too many
What is it?
questions. It's fine.
yeah, it'll
Just
be
skip
fine.
right past
Trust
that.
us.
Take
We're
me in.
professionals.
Take me in.
Just
I'm in.
just
See, this
there
is
we
the
go.
problem we found, that we
This
call
is
it a
what usually
kidnapping van,
happens.
and then people wander in. So it's not really kidnapping. It's just
It's
hanging out
more
with
like
friends
a
in a van.
self-kidnapping. There's that.
Soft kidnapping.
Which is also fine. And with that, thank you again for joining. Thank you everyone for watching. Thanks, Jess, and we see you all next week.
Bye, folks.
Thank you so much for having me.